Hi, Facebook. So yesterday I wrote a poem and I posted it online and I sang it, recorded it and then put it online. And I had an idea that another video that I could do is talk about how to get over. Sorry if you hear that sound. There's crumbs on my laptop, but I had an idea of how to get over um, feeling depressed and anxious for a couple minutes, just to get over it. At least for me, what helps me. Um, because I know last week I was in the process of um, for work and work I was feeling a little depressed and anxious, and then yesterday was Saturday, and I should be happy. It's the weekend. I get a break, 2 days break. Hello, I got 2 days off. But I wasn't, and I woke up at 7 a.m. and did not want to get up at all. Of course, 7 a.m. If I don't feel like getting up, I will stay in bed at 7 a.m. if I don't have work. So that's nothing usual. But it took me what made me realize that it was depression and anxiety. No, depression mostly. That made me stay in bed was because I would not leave my bed. I would literally not get out of my bed for 4 hours. Like I got out after like 11 a.m. So what happened was that what got me out of bed was that just like the previous video, I told you that I was talking to a friend. She told me that writing is my passion and that I need to write in order to make me happy. Okay, so yesterday what I did was, as I was lying on my bed, my phone is right there and I'm playing with it, and then all of a sudden I opened my notes on my iPhone, and what happened was all I did was I kept typing. Like I just kept typing, and uh, it was 11:58 a.m. that I stopped typing, and right when I stopped, I was so satisfied and I was so happy and like that I just got out of my bed and I had this one person in mind that I wanted to tell. Like I was so excited. I wrote something and it boosted my energy up. It made me happy that I was so excited that I wanted to tell this one person who was the one who told me like you need to write, that makes you happy. But he wasn't online. He wasn't online to talk to, so I couldn't do that. But I did have another friend that I talked to about it, and that was when I realized like I need to start writing again. But what happened was my mood was happy that whole entire day. Like I posted it on Facebook, I posted it on my MySpace, I like sent it to other friends online. I did not tell any of my friends um that I've met and like I've talked to, just because like back home friends who I talked to in Hermitage, like I talk to them once in a while, but I just don't talk to them much because I know like in my head I keep having the memories of like the past where they would always invite me to something because their friends are too busy and they can't do anything with them, so they leave me for the last minute. And then I have other friends who um, I would call them and they text me back and they don't answer my phone calls, and just friends who are not really great friends to have, but I have an easy time to talk to them, that I just stick with them. And I just talk. But I don't talk to them every single day. It's once in a while I'll text and stuff um just to make me feel like I still have them as friends, because I had them as friends before. It's just those little moments that added up every single time And that made me realize like I don't have best of best friends in my life that I can trust to do something, or like I mean I can talk to them and know that they're not going to tell anybody, but I know like I can't um, do stuff with them. Like we'll say like, oh, we need to do something, but we never do it, you know. And like in the back of my mind, I just realized it that in the instant I'm like, yeah, okay, but in the end I'm like, no, we're not gonna do anything, you know. But I also have friends in Erie that I've been keeping in contact with. That I try to keep in contact with. But when I got my new phone, like I lost some of their numbers, and now like that's a different story. But those ones in Erie, um, from college, the ones that some of them like I do want to keep in contact with, because those ones like I had an easy time or a somewhat hard time, but it was still like I knew I could confide in them. And then there are times like I know like if I need to do something and I like ask them like, are you busy? Like I know that if they're not busy, they're gonna do something with me. You know, if I need to do something with someone, I know that. But there are just other friends in my hometown that it's hard. But I lost track. Um, yeah. So I wanted to talk about how I got over my anxiety and depression this whole week. Um, So I did listen to that one person on IRC Internet Relay Chat that I've been talking to for a couple of months, and he suggested that writing is your passion. He's in a way he's a counselor for me that I don't have to pay and see, but he's really good at like helping me, because I know like he's not like somebody who's just like um acting like a counselor but doesn't know what he's doing. Like when I talk to him and end up after finishing talking to him, like I feel better, and I end up trying to do what he says, like because I'm trying to stay away from anxiety meds and other things. So I decided just to try what he's thinking I need to do, and like um, he gives suggestions, and that's what he told me. Like he gives suggestions. He won't tell me like you need to change your way of thinking and all. He just gives suggestions on what I could try, and then like I try it if I want to, and then see how it is. And like he told me for 2 weeks think about things like when I'm eating comfort food. Like my comfort food is snacks basically. I know this week I've been like I bought 2 chocolate bars one day this week, and I ended up eating it, both of them in the one day. And then I bought another 2 a couple of days later, and I ended up eating it same hour, same day, whatever. You know, and that's my comfort food. I didn't buy any more chocolate after that, knowing that. But I did have some Christmas ones from Truffles, dark chocolate. That isn't my favorite, but I eat like 1 or 2 if I really, really, really am in that mood of chocolate. And then there are times that I was still in the mood of chocolate this week that I ended up eating all the mints that I left in the Valentine's Day boxes that I got for Valentine's Day from the kids. Um, so like that's kind of thing. Like, and then I had like yeah chips, like that kind of things. And then like my parents, my mom and her, I think it's her sister, but she's my aunt. Um, they made murka. It's like an Indian circle snack that I could eat. These stuff, I like those. Those are my favorite. That I instead of buying it, they just made it and they sent it to me. And they sent 3 containers of it, and I still have 2 containers, and then this one. And this one's almost empty because last time I ate it, like I literally was in the mood for this snack that I ended up eating a lot. But but like, well, it's not. It still has stuff in it. But yeah, like that's what I go to for my comfort food is like junk. And then like I don't eat healthy during mealtime. At times when I'm like in that stage. Um, so what happens is like yesterday what got me out of the anxiety depression mode that I had last week was writing, honestly, and music. Music, because there is this one type of music, one band that I knew I was in depression mode because when I hadn't listened to them in a long time, and the only time that I listened to them was when I was depressed and sad. Sad and depressed are the same. But that was the only time that I would listen to them, and like that was like a lot of years. And then um, when my mood swings were switching back and forth, I had stopped listening to them. I realized that this week or last week when I was listening to this group, and it's called Simple Plan. Um, of course, their songs are awesome, and it's not just for depression that you can listen to it, but for some reason, like when I listen to their song, like Astronaut, I never heard until this week. It it brought me up a little bit, but the songs that I constantly listen to when I'm depressed from Simple Plan is what song? I just had one in my head singing as I was saying it, and then I forgot. But there are just a few songs on Simple Plan's records or track list that I end up listening to when I'm depressed, and it's been a constant, like constant listening. That like there are two or three that I ended up quoting on Facebook. And that like there are people that like, I was like worried like are they gonna think like I'm depressed? Because I didn't want to have them think I'm depressed because just a reason that I don't want to say online. But there was one that liked it, but they couldn't tell that it was because of my depression. Because they, like, if you really don't know me, then you can't guess that it's depression mode. That's why I'm quoting it. And a lot of people didn't know. Like, I didn't get a single message asking, like, why are you doing this? Are you okay? So, like, but that was to me, it meant that I was in my depression mode. I was back in that, and I needed to get out. But that was like only one day last week that I ended up listening to Something Fan a lot. And then another day, like I ended up listening to them just a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. And then, yeah, so, okay, I'm gonna just tell you how to get over depression and anxiety for a couple minutes that it'll make you happy just a little bit. It may not make you happy all day or like I don't know, 12 hours or a certain period. It may just make you happy for like 5 seconds or a minute. But whatever it is, just be happy. Just be like, um, just be okay with it, knowing that okay, it got me out of this stage for this many seconds, and then notice that, and then keep doing that later on, and then notice like how long it gets you out of it, and then if it gets you out of it more later, then just keep doing it and adding more things that make you happy. Like for me, music makes me happy, writing makes me happy. So, like yesterday I was writing my music just to get me out of bed, and writing my poems just to get me out of bed, and then like my stubborn self, I cannot sing, so I tell myself that every single time. And what happens is that I still want to sing those things that I write because what I do is I hear it in my head as a song. I hear a melody in my head as I write. But I call it a poem because I don't write lyrics very well. There are times that I try to sing it and it doesn't sound right, but I don't edit it just because it takes, like, I'm not a good editor when it comes to my writing. So I just let it sit there until, like, later on if I bring it back and then I'm like, there's a spelling mistake, and I'm just like, why didn't I pick it up earlier? Because when I write research papers and all that other stuff, like I can easily pick out spelling mistakes, but my poetry, I can't do that. So I don't know. Another, but really, like, do what makes you happy. Um, if it's just gonna make you happy for 5 seconds, and you've been depressed for like how long, and anxious and all, do what makes you happy. Even whether it's just for 1 second, 5 seconds, 1 minute, an hour, 30 minutes, 24 hours, a whole day. Like, the whole day is 24 hours. Alright, but just do what makes you happy for that day. And then if it makes you happy and you like it, do it again when you feel depressed or anxious or whatever mood you're in, okay? Just do what you need to do to make you happy. Like, if writing is your passion and it makes you happy in the inside and it awakens your soul in the inside and your heart, do that. Like, go, like, tell whoever is there, like, I'm in this mood, I need to go sit somewhere for a couple minutes and be on my own, and I need to do this. I need to do something on my own. And go lock yourself in your room, lock yourself wherever you need to be to make you comfortable, and write. If poetry writing isn't your thing, there's journaling, there's creative writing, there's novel writing, fiction, nonfiction. There's, I don't know if I said journalism. I said this all too fast. Of course, you can like go read the news online, or like watch news and like write about that. Or you can just like, what I did one time was that when I was working as an associate associatecontent.com writer, it now belongs to Yahoo. When I was over there getting a little bit of payment from my writing, I would post my poems or whatever they are on there. But I got to the point where like I wanted to make extra cash, so what I did was I would try to write articles. And then what happened was that there was this one picture on my computer. I didn't get it from Google or anywhere. I just found it on my computer. It was a picture of a forest. It was green, and there's a dirt, a road, like a not a road, but like an area to walk in. And like I used that as an image for me to write about. And so I made a little article or writing that was about that. And I was like, I think I wrote it as in a calm, peaceful writing, and just like what you see and all this other stuff. And like I took it as like a way to meditate on it, you know. So like writing to me, I think is just meditating on my thoughts and what I think. But like, because what happens to me is like, if you write, if you're writing, if you're gonna sit down and write, like what I just said to you, and you're trying to think of something to write, don't think. Stop right there. Don't think. Because that is always my problem with writing, is that when I have a topic in mind, I'm so, so concerned about getting like the right words for that topic. And if some word comes in my head and it doesn't belong to that topic, I get so frustrated because I'm sitting there like, and nothing is coming out for this topic. Like yesterday's one, I was writing about thank you to the ones who have helped me throughout my life. What I did was I tried writing thank you poems way before yesterday, and like what happened was like I would sit down and I'll be like, this is what I want to write about. I want to write about thank you to this person or everybody or whatever. And what happened was like I would sit, nothing would come to my mind. Absolutely nothing would come to my mind. And then I gave up on it, and I just sat there, and whatever came to my mind, I wrote it. And that day I had a poem, but it wasn't on that topic that I wanted. But of course, like when I stop and I don't think about what I want to write about, it just comes to me. If I don't force it, then it'll come to me. And I feel like for those who have trouble writing, don't force it. it will come to you. Just keep trying and it will come to you. And don't like think about like I have to write about this. I have to write about this. If you're doing it for yourself, not school, I'm not talking about school. Obviously, like if they give you a topic, you're gonna have to write on that topic. But I mean, like if you're writing on your own, um, and don't choose a topic, just write whatever comes out of your head. What you're thinking, write it. Because what you're thinking, you may not even know at that time. Like that could be something like that could help you be happy. Like if you're thinking about writing something, like if you want to think about writing a thank you um, poem, but in your head is saying like, I want to write this, I want to write this, and it's like something about your feeling upset and stuff, and you're thinking you're happy, like when you write everything and then you're reading it, and it looks like it's sad, and then like you think about it, it's like, and if you're the type that your writing reflects your feelings, you'll be like, am I really feeling that way? You know, so you'll know like your your mind is trying to tell you like you're sad, you're not happy, you're pretending to be happy. Because that's what happened to me. Is that like my writing has earlier years. I can't tell you that nowadays my writing reflects my emotions. But when I was little, my writing literally reflected my emotions. That's why I had so much depressed, sad writing at that time. And then like I, I shared a few poems to my one friend on Facebook. At that time, I had him on my Yahoo. But what the one comment that he had made when I asked him, "Do you want to read my poem?" He was like, "Is it another sad one?" Like it was something like that. It wasn't exactly like that, but that got me thinking. Like, really, is it getting that boring? Am I that boring because I'm writing too much sad ones? And like I even realized to myself that I'm not writing other emotions. I'm just writing that one emotion. So like after that, like after hearing that, when I went to write, I tried to write. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to write something other than sad. So whatever came out, it ended up being another sad poetry. But I think a year after I tried writing it, other emotions, like it came to me, like I don't know. I know 8th grade I started writing a hopeful one, that God will always be there poem. I definitely wrote that in like 7th or 8th grade, and that was a hopeful one. So it was definitely not a sad one. So I was very surprised at myself that I could write something other than sad depression poems. So that got me to try more. And then after a while, it just flowed easily. But I think at the times that I was happy, I wrote happy poems. The times that I was sad, I wrote sad poems. At the times that I was confused, I wrote confused ones. Like it reflected my emotions. And then now, I know yesterday, like I was sad and stuff, but I wrote a thank you poem. Like I didn't write a sad, depressed poem at that time. So like sometimes my writing does not reflect my emotions, but that doesn't mean that you have to like that you're not always gonna write poems that doesn't reflect your emotions. So you gotta pay attention to what you're writing because it could be speaking to you. Um, Another thing that you can do for when you're sad, depressed, or whatever you're feeling, lonely, as well, like what you can do is like you can knit, you can be creative. Creative is always like something that like can bring your energy level up because you did something, you tried it, and you did something. Um, and I know I'll stop for a minute and explain this. Like, I know that what I'm saying to you all, like, there are other people who are, like, more down than I am. that it is much more harder for them to get to understand what I'm saying and not to believe it, which I can understand very well that there are going to be people like that. Because here's the thing, like have trouble believing and trusting in other people. So if like somebody was trying to change my thoughts or telling me like what to do, I'm just like, well, like, in my back of my head, I'm like, okay, well that's not gonna work. And what if this happens? What if that happens? What if, like there's always questions that make me realize like I don't believe that person or I don't believe like I don't trust them and saying like there's hope for the future and like your life is gonna change. Like I don't believe that, but it's just like it changes little by little that you have to notice the little things and then like sure it's gonna take time, but you can be like I'm probably gonna give up later because it's gonna take too long and I'm not that type of person that can just be determined and motivated to do something long term. That's who I am too. So I understand that. But like I'm telling like whoever wants to try this to try it. Of course, there's more to it that I don't understand, but I'm telling you that like um, what I learned right now to get over my moods is that to make me happy, I gotta do what I know will make me happy, and like I can't just sit there like saying what if this happens, what if that happens, and being my stubborn self. I have to actually do it. I have to sit down and write, or I have to be creative somehow. Like I can paint, which I like painting, but I don't like buying the brushes um and then buying the paint and all that and worrying about the water, what if it spills on the floor and all this other stuff. Like I don't like that. So I don't really paint that much, but I will like color. I'll use crayons, markers, whatever else. Like when I was in Pennsylvania, like I remember I used oil colors, I think. Those crayons that are different. It's not crayon, but it's like I think it's oil ones. But I didn't like using that because like what happens is when you touch it, like of course you're gonna have to touch it with your hands, the paper. It gets all over your hands, and I didn't like that. And like I know I made my mom a card with those ones, and like it got all over our hands and stuff. I didn't like it at all. But so I stick with crayons and markers, and colored pencils is okay, but I don't like sharpening pencils. Like even for makeup, like I don't like sharpening eyeliners, lip liners. So as long as it's the retractable ones or whatever, those ones I'll buy. But the other ones, like I'll just waste it once it goes down. I don't like sharpening them because the tips are never sharp like how it was when you first buy it. It's just all messy. And I don't like it. But yeah, like just do what you gotta do. Like if you like traveling, like the one year I was burned out for college, I was burned out. I almost failed. Like I did fail one class, but I almost failed two classes. But I was lucky that I passed the other one. But I was literally giving up. I stopped going. Like there was this one class that was poetry writing. I love poetry, but what happened was that class, um, I missed a lot of days. I would go for like a couple days missing and then come back and then a few weeks later I'll do the same thing over and over again. And I wouldn't even have like some days I wouldn't have my writing ready for the class for editing and other things like that. Those little things built up and after the year ended I realized I was literally burned out that year. And that time, like somebody told me, I think it was my advisor, that you need a break, you need to go somewhere. And so like I talked to my dad and my mom about it, and I was like, this person suggested that I need a break and all, and I was really burnt out. And like, my dad knew that I was struggling with one of my classes, but he didn't know that I was about to fail 2 classes. Um, but the other one, the teacher was nice enough that I could just give her everything the last minute that I needed to give, and I'd be fine. But and then the other one, like, I don't know, but I finally like told him like I need a trip on my own. So that was the year that I went to Disney World by myself. They let me go to Disney World. They took me to. They talked to the travel agent. They asked like, what's the safest place, best place, and safest place for like a 22-year-old? I think I was 22 then, to go to by herself. And the travel agent that they talked to was like, Disney World has security and everything. Even at the airport, there's security that will help you, and like there's security there and it's safe there. And so like they were like okay with that. They were okay with that. So I went to Disney World that year, and I came back and I was like all refreshed and that I wasn't burnt out anymore. And that's the kind of thing that you need to do. Like if you need to get away, just get away. If you need to sit down and by yourself, lock yourself in a room, but other people are in your way, just tell them, hey, I need some time. And just go to your room, lock yourself in your room. Do something positive. Like I know a lot of people go to cutting themselves and stuff, which I thought about when I was younger, but the thing about it is I have a fear of pain. So anything that hurts my body and makes pain, I have a fear of. Like, okay. Like if I have thoughts of cutting myself and then like the fear of like what if it hurts and like all that, I just stop with that. And then like I end up just writing was my escape after that. Like, I never tried really cutting myself. Um because of the fear, and writing was the escape that helped me from not thinking so much about cutting myself. Think, do something that's positive. If you are cutting yourself, like, you do need to get some help with that. But also, like, maybe be like, okay, write yourself a note and stick it every single place, okay? And when you think about cutting yourself, I don't know if this is gonna work for you, but look at the note if it's right in front of you, and have it say like something that makes you happy, like write a memory or something that makes you happy that you can go to all the time and it's gonna make you smile, or write a list of things that to do that will make you happy. Like if um if driving somewhere makes you happy, write that on the list. Or if like writing makes you happy, or if music makes you happy, like a favorite song of yours will bring you straight back to the happy moment. Write that on your list. And then like I can't think of too much things to say about like examples because writing, music, reading, you can even read. If reading takes you to someplace different, then go ahead and read. Um, Cleaning, if you love to clean, or if you just clean because it just gets your head out of where you are, do that. But do something, like write on a list what will get you off your bad mood and stop cutting yourself. And then like read it and like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then if you still have thoughts of cutting yourself, I don't know exactly what to say. I just know like you need to get help. That's all I know because I've never experienced it to actually like you know um, to help you with that. But like if it does help you to get your mind off of it by making a list and doing what's on your list, go ahead. Like I was thinking about the list, and then all of a sudden I was like thinking, just write a memory down or like a favorite quote that will bring you up. Like do something that will bring you up. And I understand where cutting. What happens is that you will feel better, but at the same time you're hurting your body. like you may feel better, but it's only going to be for a short while, and then you know very well you're going to do it over and over again, and it's going to reflect on your body, you know. And I feel like the other way is going to be safer for you because you're not harming your body, and it's not going to leave like marks on your body to remind you of it later when you get when you're like feeling all better. You don't have to like hide anything. You don't have to worry about hiding things. You know. So yeah, like I mean, like if you write, there's paper. You know, or there's or you can post it online for your friends to see. But basically, what happens with your writing is it's there, and for you to come back to anytime you want. But it's not marked on your body to remind you every single second. You know, but it's there in like in a corner waiting for you to come back to when you're ready for it, you know. And music is the same way as writing, you know. And like all those positive things, sure, they're gonna be like cutting yourself or like it's gonna help you for a second to feel better, but then you're still gonna like later on you're gonna feel the same way again. Just keep doing what you're doing. The positive list, make all these different things that you can do that bring you up, and do different ones when you're feeling that in that state. You know, like one time you can go drive somewhere, and then you check mark that I did that this time. And then the next time, if you don't feel like driving and doing the same thing you did before, if you get bored of that, do something else that is on your list. That's why I said make a list of things that make you happy that will bring you up when you're not in a happy place. But yeah, that's it. That really is all it is. And keep yourself busy. Keeping yourself busy will not make your mind wander. I feel like when I was back in Pennsylvania and I was like not working, of course I went to school, but like at nighttime when I was at home, there were times that I would be alone, and I'm talking about hometown, not here in college, you know. When I was at home by myself at night, ready to go to bed, I could not sleep because like at that time, you're you're not nighttime. You're in the mood for sleeping, so you're not gonna go to keep yourself busy. You know, that time your mind starts to wander. When you're not busy, your mind will wander, and thoughts will come in. And at that moment, like I was by myself, of course, so thoughts were gonna come into my mind that were scaring me, and I ended up not being able to sleep until like my parents came home at that time. So like if you keep yourself busy, your mind will not wander. And then it will keep you from thinking the negative things in your life or the negative things that people say or the things that you made mistakes, you know. You won't worry about it all because you're too busy to worry. Like, I remember I always have anxiety when I read and go up and like I was talking to this priest at Gannon, because I was a lecturer. Like I started lecturing. I did things that I forced myself to do things that got me anxious, but at the same time, I wanted to deep down do, but I was scared to do. I tried to do it, and I was talking to this one priest because he, um, or maybe he overheard it. I know I was talking to somebody about how like I was anxious reading and all, and the priest comes to me and he was like, "You're too busy. Um, you're too busy to worry about anxiety." Like I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was like you're too busy doing what you need to be doing that your thoughts that you're not thinking about your anxiety and all this other stuff, you know? Because that moment, like every single time I read, like I would always tell somebody like I felt anxious, I was like shaking and all this other stuff. Like I thought my voice was like um stuttering and stuff, and they would be like, I didn't notice, you know, and I was like, really? Because I noticed. Um, but that one day, I was not feeling anything. I was happy. I didn't feel a thing. I wasn't shaking. I didn't feel shaking. I didn't feel like my voice was stuttering. I thought I was confident reading up there. And I was like, whoa, you know. And then the priest, like when I was saying hi to him at the end, he said something about like you're too busy. I really don't know. I just know it was too something to not worry about what you're um, to not worry about what you're doing, what your thoughts are saying to you. Because like when you're busy and you're thinking about like you're just reading and not thinking about like, oh, how is my like, am I stuttering? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Because I know like I can't tell when I'm reading or my mind is wandering. But what happens is I will be reading the book. I will be reading the reading out loud, but my head at the same time will be saying like, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're stuttering, you're shaking, all this other stuff. And my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like this while I'm reading, and that makes me not confident. Where I keep thinking like I'm stuttering, oh my god, I'm shaking, and everything starts coming. That's what happens. But that's something that you just gotta stop thinking those kind of things. You gotta like, you're like, okay, I'm fine with this, you know. All right, but I talked way too much. I talked about 42 minutes, so I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna listen to 42 minutes of talking. So yeah, I'm gonna end this, and I may record it because I tend to talk too much. So I'm sorry about that. If you are watching this, know that I hope that if you're struggling with any of this that I talked about, that you do find help, and that whatever I suggested, I hope it helps you a little bit, and that it gives you hope. Because that's why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to make some video, and I wanted it to help somebody. In the end, who's gonna watch a 40-some minute video that's supposed to help them? You know, I don't think it's gonna help by making that long of a video. So hopefully the next time I make a video, hopefully I will not make this long. But yeah, here I'm gonna end this video right now. But I hope that all of you out there feel beautiful in your skin, and stay confident and true to yourself, and don't worry about other people, what they say, do, or anything. Do what makes you unique. Do what makes you you. Only worry about you. Like I tell the kids at daycare, is your name this person? No, your name is this person. So should you be worried about this person? No, you should be worried about you. So just be worried about you. Alright, bye.